10 seconds.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the View from the Dead Box. We are closing down on Cup. We have 2 weeks of scrimmage coming up. The layout just dropped. Today's kind of a big day.
It's exciting.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're recording this the day the layout did drop. So,
Yeah.
what is your crazy first impression of it? We're just gonna get right into it. Normally, we have a little banter in the beginning, but we can close it with some banter. But
Uh, I'm like super happy about the layout because the
okay.
Doritos that looks really good.
Yes.
Um, and the snakes that looks like asshole. So I'm like really happy about that. So as long as the deer like snakes side can be literally nothing over there except like 2 pins. As long as all the good bunkers on the Dorito side, I'm happy. Like I don't
Okay.
care. At that point, as long as I have good bunkers to play from, I'm happy. Because I know you're playing against people who are doing the same thing. They have no snake
Mm-hmm.
side, they have Dorito side. So I'm happy about that. Um, the center brick looks a little bit further up, so maybe not a super easy jog up to it. Like maybe you can get out wide and shoot back inside before they're all the way up to it, which I
Yeah.
think is good because a lot of layouts in the past, those bricks have been set back a little bit, so they're a little bit easier to get up to. Not saying you can't get up to this one because I'm sure you can run up and just dive right into it and be fine. Um, but it is a jungle on the Dorito
Oh
side.
yeah, people are gonna get lost over there,
It is literally a jungle. Like that is going to be almost impossible to call what those bunkers are. That's how bad it's going to be.
man. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I am kind of happy about it. I do think there's a lot. Another thing about having so many bunkers over there is there's probably a lot of bounce shots, and I hate playing bounce shots. Like,
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're 100% right.
yeah, there's like 500 bunkers over there, so there's gonna be bounce shots and everything. People are gonna go out there and shoot 56 cases of paint to learn where the bounce shots are. But Jesus, man, it's gonna be insane. Home looks decent. Like
Yeah,
I
I feel
said,
like that's gonna be the guy that I'm saying snake, that whole diamond over there. I guess I don't know what
yeah,
else to call it,
yeah,
but I feel like that home guy is going to be the one that's really if you're pushing the snake, which I feel like I'm sure everyone sees the same thing. It's not going to be the dominant side, but if you were doing a push, I feel like it's your home guy who's going to be helping him get down because it's all short bunkers. Him
yes,
at the can, he's at the tallest bunker,
yeah.
so he should be able to theoretically shoot down on pretty much everything over there for the most part. I mean, other than the wings that are in the actual snake itself would be the only other tall things, but
I know the pros are playing it this weekend at CSP. They'll have a lot of the pro teams that they're playing in Carolyn Chesapeake paintball. Um, there's what's that field? What's Dynasty's field out there? The Hollywood Sports,
probably yeah.
Hollywood Sports or Pendleton, one of the other two. I can't remember which one it is that out there. They have Heat, Dynasty, and somebody else that they're playing. So there'll be a lot of videos online with breakouts to do and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So a lot of guys that are maybe looking for some info on the layout,
I
definitely.
mean, what about today though? So, like I said, I don't know exactly what time the layout dropped, but
Oh, it was in 45 minutes of it dropping out.
those fields
Pittsburgh
had videos up. It's
Pittsburgh already
wild.
had it. Paintball Fit already had it because right now the guys are already playing at Fit. They have
Oh
videos
yeah.
in Fit, so it's like you know, Jesus, right?
I mean, it's just living in one of those areas, man. You said it before. We're geographically challenged.
We are 100%. I know, like Louis guys, all in Miami, they had the field set up like that the day of the layout,
It's
and
crazy.
they were already playing it like all night when we had lights and stuff like that, which is
That is
good.
crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
geez, man.
I don't know. More power to them. Like that. We always talk blind layouts. That's the only reason I like blind layouts. But if you have the resources to use it, you better use it. You know what I mean? If you can set the field up that day,
Yeah,
even if you can't play the first day, like if you set it up on midday, middle of the week or something, and your whole team could walk the field, that's still a huge advantage just
yeah,
right
for
there.
sure.
So,
I agree on that.
I mean, so we're going to be scrambling to set it up Sunday and then probably play on it Sunday
Yeah,
afternoon. Probably not afternoon. We'll be done probably by
yeah,
11,
it
I'd
shouldn't be too
imagine.
much. I think some of the guys are talking about going out Saturday for like 2 hours and just
Yeah.
gridding it, maybe laying it out or just gridding it at least. And then they do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'll definitely
I
speed it up.
have a little shooting competition to do.
Oh, do
Saturday.
you?
Yeah, that's why I kind of want to rush to buy that 930 Pro. I
I
want.
was curious. Like, okay, we must have just missed each other. Like when I drove by the pharmacy, I like looked over, and I was like, I don't see any of his cars. And then like probably An hour later, you sent me the Snapchat. I was like, oh, well, obviously he got it. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, I just must have missed him by like.
I was in the I
minutes.
think I was almost in a gas station parking lot. Like that's how far
Oh, okay, yeah.
it was packed.
Oh yeah, that place is always packed.
But there was nobody in there for guns though, which is
Well,
crazy.
there's on the other side is a physical therapy place. They
Oh.
might have been there. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, it was kind of packed out for whatever reason.
yeah.
It's cool. Went out. We shot it yesterday. Put the SRO on the Zev Glock and
I gotta
blasted
see that,
while that was pretty dope. That feels amazing. Even with the ghost ring on the back of it, it is so easy to acquire the sights and pick up.
That is awesome.
Paladin super easy. Shotgun, it was just like fun, just to like
Oh yeah,
rail through like 3 boxes of shells. I'm like, okay, this is like as much as I love shooting like 2-gun like that style, like just to be able to put targets everywhere and just go bananas with like 10 rounds in the shotty is felt great.
if you have never fired a semi-auto shotgun, you
Yeah,
need to.
yeah.
I don't care who you are; it will put a big grin on your face.
Oh yeah.
And if you go to a place that'll let you shoot clays with a semi-auto shotgun,
I got
shoot
back.
clays.
Damn, like, did you get some clays? I'm like, fuck, I didn't think about it because we have everything in Dad's house to open
Yeah.
up and shoot, and we were like throwing up those the propane tanks. The
Oh
old-
Jesus!
we're throwing those up and shooting them out of the sky, and Dan misses like 3 times in a row. He's like, miss, miss, miss. Finally, the 4th one, I throw it up, and he's like, boom, boom, like shot twice. He missed the first shot, the second shot.
That
That bitch like 40 yards down the field.
is awesome.
I'm like, okay, cool.
That's
we
funny,
were shooting the steel plates with it. We were just doing all kinds of wild shit.
dude. Yeah, that's
Great. Now that I got that, she got me the steel target range for put out there. It is great to go out there and just rail rounds.
Oh yeah.
It is so much better to shoot steel than it is paper all day.
Yes.
God,
Yes.
instant feedback is great.
Yes. The only time I like shooting paper is when I'm trying to dial in one of my rifles, and it's just so I can test my group sizes with whatever ammo I'm shooting that day. But
Which is what I did when I was sighting in the SRO. I
Yeah.
shot it and then moved it, shot in, and then got it dialed in pretty good.
Yeah.
So
see, we don't do just paintball, guys.
a little bit of everything. Shit talk.
Yeah,
Some-
that too. Go ahead.
know.
You gonna say anything to Carson?
Carson, your dog shit.
There you go. All right. We got that out of the way.
And
too.
this weekend and next week, the 1st and the 8th, we're gonna be playing, and I'm gonna fucking dominate you. I'm gonna literally spread my cheeks open and pour like what seems to be chocolate yogurt, but it's actually not. It's gonna be
Yum.
like it's gonna be like warm turds all in your mouth. That's how bad it's gonna be. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. I feel
Oh
bad
my
for him. I feel because he's been popping off in chat. He's been popping off in chat. I'm
I
like,
let everybody handle themselves. That's all I say. Everyone is fine to talk shit. Don't care anyway, but
it's gonna be great.
it all comes around eventually. Let's tell. Can we tell that story about Weston?
Yeah,
We probably can. So this will be a good one for people. I wasn't here at this time. This is probably like a year or two before I started playing seriously.
yeah. Man, this had to be, it had to be like 08, 09, something.
You think
like
that late?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
then
it-
I might have been there then.
Yeah, it was just like a team practice, really, and it was just like ours and theirs. That's really the only people out there. And we were doing this team, and we were kind of like talking a little bit of shit, prior. And me and Weston are still pretty good friends, and we were like, get out there, and we're kind of like just jawing, like fucking around, and it gets down to where I'm like, I'm gonna just make it my point to wherever you go today to follow you and mirror, no matter where you are. I'm gonna mirror every move you make and just gunfight you all day long. Well, I made it a point that wherever I thought he was going to go and to shoot that lane, and we literally, I am not shitting you, I think we played like 7 points pretty early. I shot him off break, 6 out of 7 points, running to his mirror, like we both would be going to the alpha or the 100, and I would be gun nut with him the whole way there, and literally hit him like it was no shit, like 6 out of 7 points in a row. He made it to practice for like an hour or something, and took all his shit off, packed it up, and just cut out, like gone, just left. Like,
I would love to ask Weston now, like if he
Yeah.
remembers this day, because I bet he doesn't.
yeah, he's pretty old. He probably doesn't remember anymore. But it was bad, and it's great because when you get to shoot somebody off break, no matter if it's a tournament, practice, wherever it is, it's a great feeling, anyways.
Oh yeah.
But if you can key up on like one player, then it's basically your mirror or your like your guy you're going directly against, and you can key that shot up like 6 times in a row. It feels so good.
Oh,
There's nothing
absolutely.
better than like running out shooting, and then just watching the paint go in on them, and you're just like you can just know it. They're like, I know I had to get him. Check outside. Oh my god, he's walking off again. You just know it's like perfect every shot. Like it just feels nothing feels better than that.
And to top it off, you literally told him, "Hey, I'm gonna follow you around and just shoot you all day." Like,
Yeah. It's
just
like
I'm not like I'm gonna be an asshole, but I'm gonna tell you, hey, just up front, just so you know, I'm keying on you all day long today, and we're just gonna see how it goes. Like, it is
yeah.
what it is. Maybe you shoot me, maybe I shoot you, maybe I shoot you 7 times and you shoot me once. I don't know how it's gonna be. It's just one of those
We are
days.
going to find out. That's how it.
That's funny.
That was a
Yeah.
good. That was a good day. Nothing. Great memories. So
Oh
those
yeah.
are.
Oh yeah. Those are good fun. We got a little off topic, but that kind of got brought up into my head because we talked about that this weekend. So people that don't hang out with us will have that story now too. So kind of back to the layout. Obviously, I'm assuming that you think the D side is going to be stronger. Do you think there'll be some sort of halfway decent plays that'll happen from the snake side, or do you
I
think
do.
it's going to be some
I
like
do
lucky?
think a lot of stuff's kind of blocked up on the Dorito side to assist the snake side.
Okay.
And I think that maybe you can lay down flat enough over there in that whole like before prior to the diamond and like crawl up and like low
Mm-hmm.
crawl into the diamond because not much is really going to see you except home.
Yep.
And you can have your guy like either behind you or home to shoot back into the home to put him in, and you might be honestly able to just like ghost crawl all the way up into the snake and then get to the viper. And then when you're in the viper,
Oh, you're gonna have shots
great
all
bunker,
over.
great bunker in
Oh yeah.
Seattle, great bunker.
Yeah.
And you guys are listening. Seattle viper, the wedges on the snake side for us.
Yeah.
Those are great bunkers if you could get to them.
Yep.
Um, and I don't think they're going to be that crazy hard to do, but just staying down low and just honestly just disappearing for a while and then just getting down the field and not really gunfighting nobody, just disappearing.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's almost you're gonna want to get up in there. If they see you get in, well, either way, honestly, get in there. Maybe chill out for 10, 15 seconds. I know that sounds like it could be a very long time, and a lot could happen. I mean, you need to be like looking at your teammates. Don't just go in there and like lay with your face on the ground. Play the
Yeah.
game, but you don't have to come out and shoot. You can look around, get information. Don't talk. Your teammates just have to realize, hey, he's up there doing his thing. Like he's got to make a little bit of a play happen over there by himself. Once you start engaging, then you just start calling everything you see, and maybe guarantee yourself a kill first
Yeah.
before you make your presence known. That would be coming from a non-stake player. That's what I would do. But
I mean, there's not too many ways to play it. That's really about it.
yeah,
Just get to the Viper because it's going to be a great bunker. And I
yep.
think you can get to it relatively easy just by staying invisible over there, just staying low as you can and just hiding behind it. Because there's so many bunkers on the Dorito side that I think a lot of them are going to be ghosted out. And that brick's going to help you a whole bunch too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's about at the 40-ish, I would say,
Yeah.
give or take.
So it should block out the 100 and all that shooting you.
Yeah, I keep looking off screen so I can look at the layout myself while we're talking. But and I just now realized it's a tall cake that's in the corner for both sides, actually.
Snake corner?
Snake corner and Dorito corner, which on Dorito corner it's kind of, and then on the snake corner you are out there by yourself. You
Yeah.
are on a island.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a heavy snake side at all. I think it's mainly always going to be a heavy D side, guns up down there, gunfighting, and then you win your gunfights. It's probably what it's going to end up being.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I was almost like I asked you in the beginning. I don't think I'm disappointed with the layout, but I was expecting, yeah, I guess either something kind of. I don't want to say wild. This isn't even wild. I played a GFOA that was kind of similar to this, probably 10 years ago now, but I thought it was gonna be more wild or like super vanilla. You know what I mean? We got
Yeah.
kind of like we're touching wild, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like we could have had something way crazier than this.
Yes.
But I really thought since how this whole season went, they were gonna be like, let's do like ladder snake and a actual D side and a little bit up the middle and let these
Or
people
Doritos
play
in the middle,
paintball.
2 snakes on the outside.
Yeah.
Something,
That's what I was expecting, but at least we got something that's completely different and will be. Other than getting the layout early, obviously you'll see who the better teams are who can adapt to whatever's happening on that snake side early on in the day.
Yeah,
early on in the week.
should
It's
be good.
exciting.
Should be good.
Yeah, I think
Did
so
you see
too.
that monkey with a gun was trying to make a presence back? Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I was trying to read up about it a little bit. I saw it on PB Nation, and it looks like. Let me see if I can pull it up here on my
I think it's the
phone.
same original monkey with the gun guys.
I think it's. I was reading about it earlier. Let me see here.
Monkey with a Gun used to be around a long time ago, and they did Serial Killers 1 and 2. They
Yep.
did um, Heroes for a Day. Did they do Heroes for a Day?
I don't
Or is
think
that
they did Heroes for a Day. I
Nightmare?
think that was. I don't know, but here's a little press release from Monkeys with a Gun. I'm reading this off of PB Nation. So Patrick Sproyer, I'm probably saying these names are. I'm not good with names. He goes, "Hey guys, want to announce something very exciting. A couple guys who I think deserve mention are going to carry on the Monkey with a Gun name into the future, producing videos and soft goods. Let's give them a warm welcome and hear who they are. And I guess it's Anthony McClure and Nathaniel Kirkpatrick. And I
Hmm.
guess they traveled around the United States. They're from Arkansas. I'm kind of skim reading this now here. They used to watch the Monkey with a Gun films. They also had their own media companies, Dunked On Media and Native Films. And they got together and wanted to merge Monkey with a Gun. Like I said, I'm giving a skim read here. Um, yeah, they just kind of wanted to bring it back. With they did help with Heroes for a Day, Push, and Serial Killers 1 and 2.
Okay, that's
And
right.
we will be
Yeah.
adding content. It looks like they're going to put a lot of that stuff on YouTube, so you can find all the content there in one place. And so Patrick
Serial
Sproyer,
Killers used to be one of my favorite. It's very timed now. It has aged.
yeah,
I mean, so it's not like super good, but
I feel that way with Everyone Loves Push. It Push is very good, but I feel like that with Push too. It's very
yeah,
good. I love it.
I'm not really a fan of Push.
You're
I'll be
not a
honest.
big fan? Oh, that's the one
I
everyone
mean, I
loves, man.
think, and I watched it when it was still in its heyday,
Yeah.
and it's too much original paintball for me. Like
Okay.
how it, you know what I mean? I'm not looking for a reason of how it started. Like
Okay.
I know how it started. I wanted like what's going on. Like let me see some badass editing, and like I liked the newest Dirter stuff. I wasn't a big fan of the old Dirter, and I
Oh,
watched
okay.
every single one of them. But it's
Yeah.
like and it's everybody just getting shot,
Yeah.
and it's like all right. PSP Chicago 2014, or it's like next episode. I'm like, Jesus Christ! But the newest Dirter were like they get a little bit of side story, they get a little backdrop. They got like the players talking about how the event went, like what was going on, like it, why they didn't do so well, who they were struggling against, what teams are doing good, and they're giving you like a lead up to the event. Then
Yeah.
it gets to the event, and then it's like it's showing you in the pits. The guys talking about game plans, and they're doing like breakouts, and it's like they actually. I feel like people could watch that who don't really know about paintball and kind of know what's going on. If I
Yeah.
just
I would agree.
I mean, if you would like present an old original Dirter film to like I don't know a business for like a sponsorship, they would probably just like throw you out the door, right? They're like it starts out with like a 99 like Geo slamming the brakes on, hitting the TV in the middle of the road, running up and cracking with a baseball bat, and like, "Welcome to Dirter!" Woo! And they just jump out there and start shooting each other. I'm like, "What is going on?"
Paintball was in a different place back then, man.
Yes, yeah. But like the newest of the Dirter films, for the last like 10 were like really good. The editing
Yeah.
was a thousand leagues better. It's just like it wasn't even in the same realm. But and it's great to see how it came up. But everybody's like, man, I missed the old Dirter videos. Those guys are fucking clowns. That's just something you just turn on in the background, right? Like a party. That's what that is. Like when we go to Chuck's house and we have like a big Thanksgiving thing or like a New Year's thing, just turn on one of the old like 05, 06 Dirter films and let it just play. Because you can walk back in like the living room while getting a beer or going back outside, and you watch like 5 guys get dunked on like 15 times in the head, just like, oh, cool. And you go back outside. The newest Dirters, you would miss it. You walk in, they'd be talking and explaining a story to you. You're like, what the fuck is going on here? You had to sit down and watch it. It's actually a film.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I never really thought about it. You're kind of ruining my childhood here because I love War Patrician. I mean, that's
But that was like the breaking point, though. That wasn't. I'm talking
okay.
like
You're
older.
thinking okay, older than that. I mean,
Yeah,
because that's
War
an old.
Patrician.
That's old
'Cause
too, though.
Yeah, war of attrition, and weren't they like they had like breakdowns and talking and stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, the old Dirters weren't like
Okay, you're talking about
where
even before
clearly
then.
it would
Okay.
flash the film like it'd say like MAO 2005, and then it would just go like burn, and they were just playing, and it's like people getting shot, dive, slide, flip, roll, injury, people getting shot, boom, champions next, and it's like
Okay.
Chicago. I'm like, who won that? The
That's
Dynasty? I don't know
funny.
what. Like you just missed.
What just happened?
Yeah, exactly. Like the newest Dirter were showing you literally a breakdown of every match, and then they would show you every single match. They would show you like the highlights of every point of each match, and they were like, so you were tracking like, oh, Infamous just beat Excessive 5-2 earlier, and then at the end, it's like, oh my god, look, they're playing again. They just played each other 5-2. You had that, and like they give you a story up to the event, and then it tells you earlier the guys like, hey, we played these guys earlier. They know what we're doing. We got to change, and like you get. You're like there. You understand what's going on. It's
no,
not
man,
just.
I agree. I think you're right.
Time. It's actually like a lot better films.
Well, it's kind of how the you had said this about like showing someone who doesn't watch paintball. I feel like you could do that with the best kids in Texas. If someone was sitting there watching, they could understand.
Yeah, exactly. It's because the editing and now is like an art.
Yeah.
Back then it was like some random dudes like smoking dabs in his mom's basement, just like throwing films on, like cutting highlights. Like, dude, look at this, bro. Dude, hit this dab, bro. There's like, this dude got shot like 12 times, dude. Like, boom, cut it in. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So it's like, Jesus Christ.
I remember being a kid and hopping on YouTube.
It's like
and just
SCAD kids doing it.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
That's exactly what it is now. It's like SCAD kids building film. Like, that's like that guy Chris that came out this weekend when he did it for doing it within like 8 hours of seeing a film.
Yes.
Watching his editing skill, and I'm like, this is like night and day different for like doing it like that fast. Like they're sending us pictures and then doing an edited video of just us not even really playing. Yeah, just like fucking around. And it was like the music was cut to the scenes, everything is dubbed in, everything like edited is like on point. I'm like, he did this in the same day basically and had it the next day to us. So it's like, Jesus, back then it would take a fucking month to get
Oh, absolutely.
So
when he sent me that, I was like, dude, that is solid work. And that's what I said. I literally told him, I was like, you knocked that out like in less than a day. He was like, oh yeah, he goes, it was nothing. I'm like, no, me editing this podcast is nothing. I have 3 clicks I have to do. What you did just took that, like it would have took me forever to do anything near what he did. And like it was shot very cinematically. Like he's got Frank crawling down the snake. It's a great shot of Frank crawling down the snake. And he didn't die in that one. Frank only died at the end of the video. So that was also a plus for Frank.
The guy Frank getting shit on by the teacupper. But for those who don't know, Frank got out snapshot on the first snapshot this weekend by a guy teacupping his gun. And for some of you who are watching the YouTube video and maybe thinking, oh, what's teacupping, Wes? Teacupping is when you would hold the regulator of your tank with your left hand if you're on the left side of the bunker, and then use your right hand to walk the trigger, and you'd lean out of the bunker, and this is how you snap shoot. Grip frame? Nah, fuck that. Regulator on the front? Nah, fuck that. We're going to grip the whole entire gun by the bottle regulator and then come out and walk it like this. And then Frank got snapshot.
At least he reacted. You see him move his head. He just didn't move his shoulder.
And then he sat there in full disbelief.
Oh, yeah, I would have been disbelief. I'm like, oh, there's no way this motherfucker's going to hit me like this. I'll just lean my head, no big deal. Whack, right in the side of the loader. Fuck.
He sat and like looked in the bunker and then looked at me and then looks at the bunker and was like,
he said, fuck. He said, 1, Wes saw me get shot, and 2, that camera's right there on me, so I have to get out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love you, Frank.
Teacup, Frank. Frank, you got to serve some tea, Frank. Is that what happened? God damn it.
That is funny.
May God have mercy on Frank's soul. Getting tea out there by a random walk on.
Couldn't be me, I guess.
Jesus.
So, what do you think about that new Shocker coming out, man?
The amp?
Amp, yeah.
I think they missed the mark on 2 things.
Okay.
Did you watch the video I sent?
I did not watch the video. No, I only looked at the spec sheet.
You're a real big piece of shit.
I am.
All right, so the board is in 2 pieces. It looks like an interchangeable Noid, like a super fast click
I
Noid.
saw that.
Um, but for some fucking reason, they have a bolt holding the back of the frame in, like every other
Mhm.
gun except the Lux X. And you take that one bolt out of the back of the body of the frame, and then the whole gun comes apart. Which, for you PE morons, you guys are like, "Oh, dude, that's great." But on the Lux X, everything's toolless. Everything is click, 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 click. All gun comes apart. Put it back together. Click, 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 click. Guns back together. Why couldn't they apply that technology to the Shocker? Now they did do a twist lock bolt system, which is very cool. You can push the back cap in and twist it, and it
Yeah.
locks. Great, thank God, cool. But I mean, it's not hard to get the screw out. We've done it a billion times in a billion guns, but you already have figured out how to hold the frame in without what you call prior to that. So you could
Hmm.
do that again, and
Yeah,
then
I didn't even think about the screw thing.
yeah,
I,
and then use the ASA from like a Lux from like the 1400s.
yeah.
It has the screw. It really pisses me off. Why couldn't we use the Lux X or the Ice? You've had that ASA since the Ice, and you can't say, well, we just wanted something new because it's not new. You're using a screw on the front to like screw the tank in, like
Yep.
ASA has been used for fucking to the dawn of time. Nobody wants to do that. They want it quick on, quick off.
Yep.
Eclipse hit the mark on the fucking pops. They hit
Absolutely.
the mark on the pops. Now pops one, dog shit. Pops 1.5, dog shit. Pops two, same design. They've figured out the ball bearing issues that wouldn't pop off in the middle of a game.
Yep.
Clowns. But Lux, the Ice, and the X has the amazing lever, like the old dangerous powers, which I heard from a rumor that was some of the reason that they couldn't put it into the Shocker is they have to pay dangerous powers something for that ASA.
Oh,
There's
interesting.
a patent on the ASA now. Because remember the old
Hmm.
DP3s,
Yep.
17s, and 38s that they got has the flick
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah, I had a special edition G3, I think. I had one
Yeah,
of
so
those.
that has something to do with it. But anyways, I'm like, it's on all your ices and your X's. You couldn't just incorporate that with the shocker, like mill it up, whatever, do whatever you want to it. But Jesus, no one wants to keep screwing a tank in and out.
Yeah.
Like that's Lux 2.0. That's what that is.
It's
You
old
know, like
technology.
it's like Jesus, But whatever. Those are my only two knocks. I hear the gun shoots amazingly smooth, smoother than any Lux apparently. Which I
Okay.
will be I'll find out if it does, and if I will pick one up.
That was going to. I was getting ready to ask.
Yeah.
Would you shoot one of those full time if it shot as good as like a Lux?
I heard it she's smoother than Lux. So they
Okay,
said.
so if it did, because I
Yeah.
know you're
Yeah, I'll probably
very
because
picky.
it's very small and very light.
Okay, that was my next thing. They
Very
are
small,
very
very
small and
light.
very light guns.
So and it's
Okay.
super supposed to be supposed to be super efficient too.
Now, do you know if there's gonna be like a bolt upgrade kit, or is that
For the to go from no, I would imagine probably not. So unless they can
okay?
take the internals out of the bolt, because the whole back carriage of the bolt
Is
and
different.
cap is a twist lock system.
Okay.
Now that doesn't say that the front of the bolt can't unscrew off and you can take everything.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you've seen Jack Wood's post, but
Yeah, well, I
boy,
was literally let me
man,
go ahead and hit send on my phone. That was my next thing. I was gonna ask you if you had seen this post from
he is
Jacqueline.
fucking mad.
I took it off that that paintball the penis page. I guess I'll
Yep.
just call it the paintball events, news, interviews, and stories. I guess
Penis page.
the penis page. I didn't know what else to call it.
That's what you call it. It's called the penis page.
But
Um,
isn't that wild, huh? And just
yes.
fucking go hitting it right out there with it.
Hey, like I know he said it before, but the Lux X is very similar to the CS2's Bolt, and he said that what did he say? Forgery or not forgery? What's the
Oh,
thing?
uh,
Is the closest as flattery? What's the fucking
yeah. Imitation is the closest form of flattery. Is that it? I think it's more complex than that, but
yeah? Basically it's like saying if you copy me, like I shouldn't be mad. I should be.
imitation is a sincerest form of flattery. Yeah, basically.
I've heard him say that before, those exact words in a quotation about the Lux X Bolt. So now he is saying, which I haven't taken apart CS2 because his guns are dog shit to me, that he says that this bolt is very close to a Gamma Core, which
Yeah.
it very well could be. I don't know, and I wouldn't put it past him. Right?
Well, my thing is
Uh,
this though, and I love my Planet Eclipse guns, and I would defend them to the end. How much more can you innovate? You know what I
exactly.
mean? That's
Exactly.
my thing, and I would pick a Planet Eclipse gun
But I heard there's no patent on the bolt.
Well, then Planet Eclipse needs to patent the bolt.
See,
That would be my thing.
they can't patent now that there's two guns out with the same bolt system. You can't patent something like that. Now you can patent something, I believe, if you were the first to do it and nobody else had one, you can patent it. But now that I've already owned one and I've made them in a billion guns, you can't put a patent and go, "Hey, I got a patent that you can't do it anymore."
Yeah.
You can't do that. But if you designed a refrigerator that shot out chocolate popsicles, you could put a fucking patent on that. So some guy can't do the same thing you're doing. You can,
chocolate popsicles.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like something unique. You can't be like, "Oh, that's no, I'm doing that now." It's like, well, dude, 10 other companies already make the chocolate popsicle refrigerator. Like, what are you doing? You can't do that. So,
I mean,
but yeah, I heard there's not
right
a
to me.
I heard there's not a patent on the bowl. That's what the word on the street is, and I'm not sure if that's true or not. You hear all these from these fucking Facebook lawyers.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's what was heard. So you can't be mad. You could say that they copied it, and maybe they didn't, and maybe they did. Who cares? But if you didn't want to copy it, you probably should have patented it or something. I don't know.
You think they're gonna come out with anything this year, Planet Eclipse?
No, they're very terrible. They're bad with that.
Yeah.
They do usually a big break.
Yeah, and they really, I mean, I'd say
they didn't release. They let HK. So HK is.
Well, I wasn't even gonna say that. I was gonna say they kind of do smaller releases throughout the year, and they've kind of been doing that like since probably.
I think they do extravaganza. I think that's when they come out. So that's their big thing.
They've kind of changed it. They used to do a cup like everybody else, but it's weird now. It's not. It's like 10 years ago, everybody was doing it at cup, and then
this is like the car manufacturers. Like if you could hold your car off to wait until like I don't know 2 months later, it's great because you get to see what. Even though these cars have been in production for 2 years prior to that, but if some guy releases the 2021 Ford Mustang and it has all this bullshit and it has 425 horsepower and you're like, oh cool, well then the Camaro comes out like 3 months later, they're like, hey, let's do all the same shit we were gonna do, but let's make the car have like 440 horsepower. And the guy's like, oh yeah, so then they do that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I would imagine moving the Planet Eclipse to extravaganza because it's the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Which I've never really understood about releasing. I understand, but it's never cool to release new gear at Cup. It's cool for everybody to see it, but I always felt like if I buy the new gear, it should be at the beginning of the season so I get to play with it all season. If you buy, I mean, I guess I can't say that. I guess because you could buy it at Cup and you train with it in the off season and you get to play with it in the next season. I guess.
Then you know if it works for you because I bought some gear I used 2 or 3 times and I'm like, ooh, this just doesn't fit how I play or what I need or whatever. So it gives me a time.
Extravaganza, you're buying it to use because it's the beginning of the season. You're like, all right, well, dude, this is a brand new CS2. Like nobody's ever seen one of these things before. Let's buy it and let's see how they fucking go. So yeah, you're kind of buying and going. It's like our forces. We just bought them. Like, all right, well, let's go rip them in the tournament. I hope they do well.
Fucking scary. I will say this: my opinion on that gun is getting more positive.
Yep.
It shot really good this past weekend, and I don't know if that was because I was shooting someone off break every fucking game while I was in mad amount of pain. So I don't know if that's what it was, or if it was just. Because that paint wasn't that good. It was okay. It was relatively straight, but I
2 points in a row. I seen you shoot the well, they doubled the guy like a bunch of fucking clowns. But I see you shoot both gods when I was reffing that one time.
Yeah.
And you hit one and it broke. The other one you hit going in and had to get a check. So the lane was there for both of them to go through it. Again, they're fucking stupid for doubling that lane. I don't know why you would double that lane.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I blame that paint, and then the gun. I was able to get. We were probably getting right at about a 4K fill, give or take.
Yeah, when you cool down, you probably got 37, 38.
Yeah, I want to say, and I got, I think it was 5 pods and a hopper. I probably had half a hopper left, roughly. And I think I had about 500 or 600 psi, so I definitely could have squeezed another full pod out of that.
Yeah.
Not much more, I don't think.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Now on a 45 fill. Legit fill.
Yeah.
Even if it cooled down to 4,
yeah.
If it cooled down to 4 instead of like 37, you could probably get 6 pods in a hopper. Which it's like on a 68, so you're like, man, that's still not great. But
No.
it's like it's checks and balances. It's like, do you want to not ever break paint and shoot super fragile paint?
Yep.
If so, this is how you do it. You use a massive amount of air to push the ball instead of the bolt, and a higher pressure hitting the ball and breaking it. So it definitely is, night and day difference of shooting.
Yeah.
I didn't shoot a bunch. I only shot like 2 pods per game plus hopper, so I really couldn't get a good judge on it. But yeah, it does not like the 45 for sure.
Yeah.
I bought an ice yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I bought Alex Spence's ice from Damage, his personal one.
Oh, nice.
It's got some fucking mileage on the tires.
I bet it fucking does. I can imagine how he treated that thing.
She is worn, but it's cool. It's got like a.
Is that the splash you sent me? I thought that was Courtney's.
No, that is. I sent you a splash about. She didn't know the trigger. Yeah, she didn't know about that. But the fade. It's a blue to orange fade kind of deal.
I don't remember.
But it's I haven't sent that one out to nobody yet. But it's like an acid wash fade. But then it's gloss tattooed over it with damage on the sides of it, like in the background. I'll send you a picture of it, and it changes in the sun. The paint changes. It's pretty dope. But it comes with a standard barrel, which has a little bit of mileage on it. You can see there's the edge of the gun has some marks on it. But I bought it for a battle axe. Like I got a pretty good deal on it. I bought it just to beat the fuck out of it. It has some weird trigger that I've never ever seen before. Apparently, it's a prototype trigger for them. Okay. And it's not like the Pro DNAs, it's not the Violent, and it's not whatever the bullshit Scythes and HKs. It's none of those. It's some really weird like Deuce style trigger that doesn't look like anything else. Anyways, it comes with a barrel that's anode standard freak, and then it comes with the XL board freak that's paint match anode that has some mileage on it too. An All American front on it, which he's an old school player, so that's why it has the All American front. I'm trying to think what else it came with. Just a bunch of small bullshit here and there. And I'll probably snatch it out, throw the Encore in it, let it rip after tuning hers this weekend with the Encore in it and kind of get a little bit of feel on how it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why I bought it. I just kind of wanted something just to be able to just beat the piss out of it and just not really care.
It's actually funny because I was at Cup. I was probably going to look at picking up an ice because I want to have, like I said, I'm planning on keeping that Force.
Yeah.
But I feel like I need something else. I don't think the Force is going to go down, but I feel like I'm in a bad situation and I'm like shooting a lot of paint and I'm like, oh, I got to carry 8 pods today. Or you know what I mean? Something like that. I'd be like,
yeah.
And obviously I could get a bigger tank, which I still might do. I might get a 77. I'm really considering it just because it would be close to the same weight as mine and lengthwise. I think I can handle it, but I wouldn't mind having another gun in the bag since I'm probably going to leave the shocker as a CVO once I get that fixed, and then then I'll be good on guns. I won't need any guns probably for 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
Hopefully, until you con me into buying some other bullshit.
We'll see. I'll shoot this shocker and check it out. I know Yazzer and Craig shot it this weekend at the tournament. They were both using it, but I heard it shoots crazy smooth, like stupid smooth. So depending on how smooth it shoots, we'll go from there.
Hopefully, I'm assuming they'll have a booth out for it.
Yeah, they should definitely have a booth out for it. We shall see.
We shall see. It'll be chronoed at 240, and it'll be about 20 feet long, so it's going to sound like it's fucking singing them down there.
That's the same.
It's going to feel nice.
Bitches.
Oh, boy. Do you have any other topics tonight? I didn't really have anything else.
I know I touched on this topic before, but I am adamant. I think we talked about it for a split second before about boar matching, a proper boar match. I don't know if we did it or not. I know I've seen it floating around the last week on the paintball pages. Yeah. And some fucking clowns are in there like digressing on it. Like
it's fucking one of the most important things you can do.
And they said they're like, oh, I'm shooting 6. Like Can is the fucking worst with that. 691 since the dawn of time.
I mean,
stop. It is, and I have proved this a billion times, but just this weekend we had that orange and green paint you gave me for the team or whatever. Yeah, I needed some paint to shoot, and I'm like, I was shooting that fucking I was shooting some shit, and it was like up and down and up and down and up and down, and the paint was all over the place. But your paint looked, I know it's old and super fragile, but it looked round. And I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck it. So I put it in her gun, and I'm trying to, and I'm like, I'm tuning her gun. Most of you guys don't know what tuning is nowadays. You just pull the gun out of the box, turn it on, and go fucking rip it.
Yeah.
Like with the, like I'm tuning it, so I'm adjusting the manifold screw, feather touch screw. I'm adjusting the dwell. And I have the fucking pressure touch tool in the back, so I'm adjusting the pressure. I'm trying to get the gun fine tuned and like to make it shoot as smooth and as soft as efficient as it can. Well, while doing that, I'm like, it's so hard to do over a chrono when I'm plus and minus 17 and 20. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck, dude. So, anyways, I get her down to like 155 psi, which is 20 psi below stock operating pressure,
Yep.
and it's shooting like 290. I'm like, all right, that's money. So and then I'm adjusting with the manifold screw. I'm getting everything dialed the fuck in. I'm like, all right, well, cool, we're good here, we're good here, and it's plus and minus, plus and minus, plus and minus. And I'm like, is it the bull? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm like, man, fuck this paint. Like I'm done with this paint out. I'm gonna go get that other paint, and I'm gonna like go bore it. So I had a 684 in the gun, and I was really close in the other paint, but it was still rolling through. So I'm like, I said, you know what? I have like 30 balls left. Let me just bore it down to like a 682, and it was stopping about halfway through. And I came back and shot it, and it was going plus or minus about 20. It was going like 272 to 292 roughly. I put down like a bore size, put the same old shit paint in there, shot the gun. It came up to like 296, but it went like plus or minus like 14 to 15 now. It was
Yeah.
like it was like 282, 295, like, and it was
Yeah.
290, 282, 292. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, let me go down to like a 679. And I put in there and it felt really good. Like it blew every time. It wasn't like stuffy. Came back and chronoed again, and it was like plus or minus about 8. But I could see the paint was kind of a little all over the place. I knew the paint was still like oddballed and shitty.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, now we know this took care of the plus or minus 15 to 20. Let me go get the other paint that I know is perfectly round. It's just super fragile. I want to see if this bolt shoots it with the lower pressure.
Yeah.
Go in there, dump it in, shoot the gun, and I'm like, I actually properly bore match it prior to getting out there. And I'm at like, I think I'm on a 679 or a 77. And it's stopping like barely going in it, and then you blow it a little bit and it comes out. So it's stopping every single time, and there's really no air gaps around it. It's pretty even. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. Go out there and shoot 305, 301, 305, 308, 307, 305. I'm like, dope. Go down a little bit on operating pressure, 295. And I think I sent you guys a video in the group chat.
You did.
It was
Yeah.
like plus or minus like 5. Like boom, 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 boom. I ramp it, 293. Ramp it, 294. Come back, boom, 290, 287, 290. Then I shot that one like 267. I'm like, the fuck was that? But then it's like 289, 291, 290. I'm like, okay. I'm like, there's literally, you cannot argue bore matching anymore. Like bore matching has been done. It is, there's no arguing with it. Like I understand some guys don't want to bore because this and that and the other. Bore match your paint, man. Like you can run your guns at lower pressures and picking up the feet per second. Not only is it better on gas, it's better on the paint. It's more consistent over the chrono. It's like
I used to be kind of like how Can is. I never did it, and for years it used to always be I never had like an insert kit. Just never had one. I was like, it was something extra at the time. I couldn't afford to spend the extra.
It's like 691 it is.
Yep. And I ran and at the time, you could almost run an 8.8 for everything. But now
that was a stock ultralight back, right?
That is a stock ultralight back, and I would run my titanium ultralight all the time. And as paint got smaller, I basically was like, well, fuck, now that 8.8 is huge. Like first it was 8.4 and I was running 8.8 and it was like I could get away with it. And then once paint got below like
7779 is
common. That I was like, that is crazy. Like I can't, that is just too big. So I bore obviously now. And especially for a tournament. Like if I'm going to play in the woods and I wanted to shoot my titanium barrel, I might just say fuck it. You know what I mean? Whatever. But again, like with the pump behind me, on the side, I have to bore match that. Because as soon as I pump it, it pushes that ball right into the barrel, and if you don't do it, it'll roll right out the end, and it's like, well, there goes your one fucking shot.
Or roll halfway down, and you gotta shoot somebody, and it comes out the gun like 200 feet per second.
Yep.
And then you're good, and then you already gave your spot away.
Yep. But yes,
bore match your one day. I think it started that one day when I was tuning your gun with a tank over the chrono, and then I said, "Man, what do you got this bore match?" And you had like a 8.7 in it, and I'm like, let's go cut it down real quick.
Yeah, because I don't think I didn't have an insert kit yet. Even for that
I grabbed my kit and we went down like 3 sizes, and the gun picked up 20 feet per second over the chrono and was like plus or minus 5. Like, boom, 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 boom. I'm
Because
like,
we had that gun operating on a really low pressure too. They,
it was
they
about
told you that should not work.
yeah, it was like 10 psi lower than what normal operating pressure is on those guns, and it was
Yeah,
like 10 psi lower, and the gun shot relatively super smooth.
yeah,
But just by boring it correctly, the gun got a lot more accurate,
yeah,
quieter. 'Cause you're not
yeah,
wasting gas going out the gun. The gun's smoother because it's operating at lower pressure, and we picked up feet per second, so you get to you get to do all that while turning the gun down, which is great.
yep,
Which is a weird thing to me is that's like one of the best feelings in the world is if I shot my gun all weekend and then the next weekend I come out and I always chrono and I know a lot of you fucking clowns don't chrono your guns. Chrono your guns, man. Just chrono your guns. Like I know and it shouldn't climb, but we travel so much playing and shooting different paint and it adjusts. Sometimes it's 260, sometimes it's 330. Like I've seen it on numerous occasions. But all of us I have got the guys all buy chronos, so everybody typically has a chrono. But it is nothing better to me to go out there and shoot my gun well weekends 285, 290. Next weekend I come out, I shooting 310. That means I get to turn my gun down. So then it
yeah,
feels good to me that I get to turn my gun down. Usually it means two things. A, it's breaking in and it's smoothing out, so it's shooting hotter. Or I'm properly bore matched because I didn't adjust anything else and the pressure stayed the same. And I'm coming down on the pressure, which is making the gun smoother. So definitely needs to like I think that's the most like looked thing or overlooked thing in
yeah.
the industry is bore matching your paint properly.
Yeah, no, I think you're correct. I mean, I only ever did it if I had like a. This is obviously going back in time too. If I had like an Ego or a Geo with like an SL kit or something, I
Yeah,
only ever did it then because I was like, oh, I can. I have three inserts, three different backs.
yeah.
But other than that, I never had. The only freak kit I've ever had is that XL kit. I've never had, and then I had a CP kit, some Sly kits, but the
Oh, red
slides and the
pepper
stiffies.
sticks.
I had red pepper sticks for my SL74. Um, the slides and the stiffies were always like bullshit to me. Like,
Yeah, the itty bitty little like
yeah, yeah,
yeah, that was like for autocockers where it wouldn't roll out. Like yeah.
yeah. That was I was always like, well, I have like, I mean, yeah, I have this cool switch kit and I'll use it, I
So the
guess,
deal
but
with the slides and the stiffies were that the barrels are solid carbon fiber, and they coat the inside of the barrel with porcelain. So what the porcelain does is one of the most slickest surfaces known to man besides titanium. Um, if you break paint in the stiffy, you could shoot through it and it cleans the barrel back out by itself with no squeeze you really needed and get you back on target pretty well.
yeah,
So they what they wanted to do is give you a small shim to stabilize the ball out of the breech, but have the whole barrel porcelain coated so you get
that makes
zero
sense.
drag on the barrel and it's all porcelain so you don't want to like break paint and the back of the barrel be covered in paint but the front's clean. You
Yeah,
could literally break a break ball in the stiffy, and I say this because we were sponsored by Stiffy for like 5 years. Break a ball and then shoot like 20 or 30. Come back up and pull the barrel off and look at it, and you would see like itty bitty little lines. Like it was all gone. It would
yeah.
literally clean the paint right out of the barrel. It's crazy. It's
I mean, I
but
liked them. They shot decently good. I mean, like I said, I have a switch kit somewhere, and I have a normal one piece that I use
yeah,
for
we had all
hot.
the little bag,
Yeah, the
of
little baggie. Yes.
back just banging around inside the fucking knitted piece.
I also had a Lucky Barrel kit,
A
but
lot of
it
guys love that Lucky came with that dark shocker. I think.
yeah, I don't this was just I bought off somebody off PB Nation, but it was like a one piece, but it looked like a two piece. It was
Yeah,
like the back was like the front was the whole insert. You just had a back that like screwed on just so you could basically change colors. Is really all it
yeah.
did, and it would attach on. But that barrel always shot good too. But
Everybody always loved the Lucky.
yeah,
They said the Lucky was really good. I've seen a lot of guys talk about the Luckies.
yeah, you could get them on PB Nation from some dude. He had a fuck ton of them. He was selling for like $25 a barrel, and you would just
Jesus.
get whatever size you wanted and one colored back to match your gun, and that was it. You had the same thing. It was a one piece barrel basically that looked different when you put the different color back on it.
Yeah.
But still, nothing beats an ultralight. That's still
Yeah, I thought about I found a guy, I've been talking to him for like a few weeks now. BRC, BMC, BRC, BMC. I'll get it next week for you guys. BRC or BMC fabrication, and he is specializing in boring barrels. A lot of you guys are probably looking at your barrels bored. I was doing the same thing. I was talking about getting a GO4 and then taking that dog shit ass FL barrel off and having it drilled bored for an XL kit, which is king shit. and I talked to this guy, and he does like 50 or 60 barrels a day, and he
God,
just got around to doing titaniums and stainlesses. So he's still working on those. But first of all, I don't know why you would ever want. And whenever he puts him a picture of a titanium being bored out, like they've roasted his ass. But it's not him; it's customers wanting it.
yeah,
So it's whatever, you know. But I thought about getting an ultralight because you can give them in a billion colors. Getting like a colored matched ultralight for my gun, and then going and getting an XL board and putting XL kits in it because my free flow cocker comes stock with the NO matched ultralight that has standard
been
frequency.
bored. Yep.
So definitely is a great idea, and
Oh
I
yeah.
think one of the better shooting barrels, quietness wise too. So
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Is that it?
well, I think that's it,
I
man.
think so. It was a good one. We were all over the place. What did we talk about? We talked about the World Cup layout. We hit on the shocker, monkey with a gun.
Frank getting
Uh,
teacupped,
Frank
getting served. Frank getting served some
serve
hot
some
tea.
tea. Um,
Carson gonna get pooped on.
Carson gonna get pooped on. We told the Weston story. I think that was it.
Yeah.
I'm sure we hit on some other things in there, but all right, I'll take us out of this bad boy.
Woo.
Thanks for listening, guys. Be sure to like it, share it, whatever you do. I still blows my mind that people watch this. It's really crazy to me. Buy the merch. Doing good, and we will see everybody at Cup. And stay tuned for the next one. Peace out.
Later, boys.